You can't look away, not when it is your hard-earned money, not when you're about to commit millions of naira to a piece of land or a house, and definitely not when someone is telling you, buy now because the price is going up tomorrow. You can't look away from documents, you can't look away from location, you can't look away from title, and you cannot look away from the question you need to ask before you pay. Because here's something I've learned from real estate. What you fail to investigate today can become the problem you wish you've seen yesterday. Hi, I'm Christiana, Urhobo, a real estate professional with Meridian Limited, and today I want us to have a very honest conversation, not about the glamorous side of real estate, not about the beautiful houses, not about those videos someone walk you through an estate and said to you, this is the next big thing. Today, we are talking about things you cannot afford to ignore when buying property in Nigeria. Because your money is involved, you can't look away. Firstly, you can't walk away from documents. Let's start here. This is one of the areas I want you to slow down. Sometimes clients see beautiful estates, good location, and they hear other people are buying, and suddenly excitement takes over. Then you hear someone say, don't worry, everything is registered. Then the client says, okay, send me the account details. No, pause. I'm not saying the property is bad. I'm not saying the realtor is dishonest. I'm not saying the developer wants to deceive you. All I'm just saying is simple. You have to verify what you're buying. When someone tells you a property has a particular title, ensure you understand what that title means. And when you're being given a document, don't just look at it and say it looks genuine. A document looking official isn't the same as when you independently verify. That is where professional due diligence becomes important. Depending on the property and transaction, you may need to investigate ownership, title, survey information, planning issues, encumbrances, and other matters relevant to that particular property. Because your question shouldn't only be how much is the land. Your question should also be who owns the land. What exactly is the title? Can this title be verified? Is there any restriction or issue affecting this property? And what am I actually purchasing? And if you're buying from the comfort of another country, don't assume being in the diaspora means you have to depend entirely on what someone tells you. Ask questions, request documentation, use qualified professionals where necessary, and please don't let embarrassment stop you from asking what you don't understand. Because there's no foolish question. When your money is involved, you can't look away. Secondly, you can't look away from location. Let's talk about location. I know everybody wants to hear, this area is going to boom. This place is a next Lekki. Buy it now before every other person discover this area. Let's slow down, please. Real estate isn't magic. Can't buy a location simply because someone gave it a catchy name. You need to understand what is happening there. How accessible is the property? What infrastructure exists? What is happening around that area? Are people living there? What is the road situation? What is the demand like? And most importantly, does the story you're being told match what you actually verify? Sometimes you're so attracted to the future story that you forget to investigate the present reality. And this is especially important when you're buying land in a developing areas. Development potential can be attractive, but potential is not guaranteed. So when somebody tells you, buy this land because this entire area will become the next big thing, please don't just get excited. Ask why. What evidence support that expectation? What infrastructure is on? What are the risks? What is the timeline? Because a good investor don't just listen to only the promises. He or she investigate the foundation behind the promises. You can't look away. Thirdly, you can't look away from the fear of missing out. This is very important, very, very important. Real estate marketing company can sometimes make this fear of missing out very powerful. Three plot left, last chance, price increases tomorrow. Everybody is buying, and suddenly you feel like if you don't buy today, you will lose the opportunity forever. But let me tell you something, urgency can never replace due diligence. Never. So if your property is genuinely worth considering, you should still be able to ask questions. You should still be able to know the terms and conditions. You should still be able to verify what you're buying. You should still be able to think. And if you're being pressured so heavily that you cannot properly investigate the property before paying, that is something you should pay attention to. I'm not saying legitimate prices don't happen. Yes, they do. Developer can review prices. Promotion can end. Payment plan can change. But your decision shouldn't be because everybody is buying and you have to buy it. So your decision should be, does this property make sense for me after I've investigated it? There is a big difference between them, because you don't want to wake up tomorrow and realize that you bought this property because you're afraid of missing out. Real estate is not a competition. You don't get it right by buying the fastest. We can get a peace of mind by making an informed decision. Oh yes, you can hear the countdown. You can hear people shouting, buy now, or you missed out. Before you transfer your money, you can't look away. Fourthly, you can't look away from the numbers. Let's talk money. This is where I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Can you actually afford this property? Not just the initial deposit, the entire commit. So sometimes we see 5 million naira as the initial deposit and we think we can handle that. What happened after the initial deposit? What is the balance? What is the payment period? Are there other additional transactional costs, survey fee, legal fee, developmental fee, and what other financial commitments are involved? You need to understand the full picture. And please don't buy property because you want to prove something to somebody. You don't need to buy property that will put you under unnecessary financial stress because someone else is buying. And if you're investing, understand your budget, understand your cash flow, understand the payment structure. And if you don't understand it, ask. Because one of the most dangerous sentences in real estate is, I will figure it later. No, figure it out before you commit. And if you're buying with a payment plan, ensure you understand what you're agreeing to. What will happen if you miss a payment? Is there a refund policy? Is there a penalty if you defaulted? You need to understand all this before you commit. Read the agreement very well and don't just sign because someone is telling you it is standard. You might not be a lawyer, that is fine, but get the appropriate professional advice when necessary. Because when you're putting substantial money into something, you can't look away from the numbers. Number 5, you can't look away from who you're buying from. Now let's talk about the person or the company selling you the property. Because sometimes people spend more time checking the property than checking the person or the company they are dealing with. And that shouldn't be. If you're buying from a developer, investigate the developer. If you're buying through the realtor, understand who the realtor represents. Ask questions. Can you verify the company? Can you visit the office? Can you inspect the property? Are the terms and conditions clearly explained? And does the person selling it to you encourage reasonable due diligence? And yes, something else, don't be afraid to walk away from a transaction you don't clearly understand. That is very important. Walking away from some questionable real estate deal isn't failure. Sometimes it is wisdom. If someone said to you that if you don't pay today, you will never get that opportunity again, please don't allow that statement to shut down your sense of reasoning. Ask yourself, why am I being pressured? And again, I'm not saying every urgent offer is fraudulent. I'm only saying urgency shouldn't prevent you from asking reasonable questions, because your money deserves clarity. Your investment deserves clarity. And you need to understand what you're getting into, because you can't look away. Number 6, I guess is the last one. You can't look away just because it looks beautiful. Now let's talk about something we don't discuss enough. Appearance, beautiful estate that sell dreams, beautiful gate, landscaping, street lights, professional video, presentation. Yes, presentation matters, but presentation cannot replace due diligence. Beautiful estates still need to be investigated. A beautiful location still needs to be researched. Beautiful brochure cannot replace proper documentation. So if you're looking at a property, train yourself to look beyond the surface. Don't only ask, does it look good? Ask, does it make sense? That is completely different question. What am I trying to tell you today? I'm not telling you to be afraid of real estate. Quite the opposite. Because real estate can be an important part of a long-term financial plan for many people, but you have to approach it with your eyes open. Don't let excitement replace investigation. Don't let the fear of missing out replace your reasoning. Don't let beautiful pictures replace verification. Don't let the low deposits make you to ignore the total financial commitment. And don't let anyone make you feel foolish for asking questions. Because the person who asks questions from paying may save themselves from asking painful questions afterward. So the next time you want to buy land, next time you want to buy a house, next time someone sends you a property opportunity and says you need to buy it right now, remember what I told you today. You can't look away. You can't look away from documents. You can't look away from location. You can't look away from title. You can't look away from who you're buying from. You can't look away from the number. And certainly, you can't look away from due diligence. Because real estate isn't about buying a property. It is about knowing what you're buying, who you're buying from, what are you committing financially, what risks are you accepting. So before you make that payment, pause, ask questions, verify, and then make your decision. Because when it comes to your add-in money, you can't look away. I'm Christiana Urhobo of Meridian Limited. And if you find this video helpful, share with someone that is planning to buy property in Nigeria, especially someone buying from the diaspora. And subscribe to this channel because here, we don't just talk about property, we talk about making smarter property decisions. See you in the next video. Thank you.